जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. What is something? Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Ram, Jai Ram, Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Hari Om Pranam Swamiji.
Hari Om, Pranam, Pranam.
Hari Om Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam Swami.
Hari Om,
Thank you,
Pranam,
Swami.
Pranam. Today we thought for a change we would read the mission for August. But it is still in the making. Some minutes are available. Meaning. Day for yesterday we were talking about Guru Stuti also.
Recap of the program in Anandashram from morning to night.
Programs in Anandashram was discussed.
From morning to night.
Kattale Balage Aitu. Kattale Balage.
Vishnu Sahasranam. Vishnu Sahasranam.
I know, she's searching.
It is here, sir. Which one? Vishnu Sahasranam.
Wait.
Ah, it's fine. Now it is. Swami.
Smarna Matrena Janma Samsara Bandhanat. When we keep on chanting, there are so many slokas. So, for example, in one sloka, it is mentioned, Yasya Smarna Matrena Janma Samsara Bandhanat. Vimuchyate Namastasmai Vishnave Prabha Vishnave. What does it mean? We chant and go. Obeisance to that Vishnu, whose remembrance alone frees one from the bondage of birth. The moment I remember him, Yasya Smarana Martena, Janma Samsara Bandhanad Vimuchyate. I will be freed from the Janma Samsara Bandhanad. So this is not, if you keep on chanting, okay, but we do some manana and try to understand. Sritva dharmana sheshena papanani cha sarvasaha yudhishthirashyantanavam punareva kimekam devatam loke. Ayyo. And about Kodharma, he is asked, which dharma do you consider to be the supreme of all dharma? Kodharma sarvadharmanam bhavata paramo mataha kim javan muchyade jandur janma samsara bandhanad. Chanting, by chanting, what is a creature freed from the bondage of birth and death? Kim javan muchyade jandur janma samsara bandhanad. How will they get over this? Then oh. Loka Pradhanasya Jagannadasya Vishnu Jishnu Mahavishnu Papa-Vishnu Maheshwaram Aneka Rupa Daityantam. Sri Vishnu Agadhyanam. Lakshmi Kantam Kamalanayam Yogi Dhyanagam Yagashyam. Personal aspect. Buddhatma Paramatma. Astotram, 1000 names. Vishwam Vishnu Vashatkaro Bhuta Bhavya Vavat Prabhu Bhutagrit Bhavo Bhutatma Bhuta Bhavanaha. Vishwam Vishnu Vashatkaro. The order of the universe is pervaded by him. The one who is the master and beyond the past, present and future. One who supports or sustains and governs the universe, the creator and destroyer of all existence in the universe, the essence of all beings, he who originates and develops all elements. Even the first sloka itself, it covers the whole thing, the universal aspect. Then, Yogo Yoga Vidhan Sarva.
That is last, Swamiji.
Manamadi is not last.
It is
Kayena vacha manasendriyaiva विद्यात्मनावात् प्रकृतिः स्वभावात् करो श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं रामनाम. So the Lord Shiva says, Ishvara Uvacha. Chanting of the name Rama is same as the 1,000 names. Sahasranama Tatulyam. Equivalent, no? Translation is not correct. Equivalent. Tatulyam. Provided we chant with that bhavana. Vishweshwaram. न वासुदेव भक्तानाम अशुभम विद्यते क्वचित् janma mrityu. There is nothing inauspicious for the devotees of Vasudeva. They are not afraid of birth, death, old age and disease. We are chanting, but we are always anxious about it, no? Nothing goes inside, no? That is our problem. All these Vanamali, Gadishargi, Shangi, Chakri, Chanandagi, Sriman Narayano, Vishnu Vasudevo, Virakshatu. Sri Vasudevo, Virakshatu, Namayi. Protect us, who wears the forest garland, Vanamali, who has the maize conch, and who is called Vishnu and Vasudeva. That's it. That means protect us, that's all. Vanamali, Gadishargi, Shangi, Chakri, Chanandagi, Sriman Narayano Vishnu Vasudevo Virakshatu. This is the tune. Sarva Praharanam in English. So what is needed is at least one sloga, we take it. Atmayon Swayam Jadu Vaihan Samrayana. This is a combination of both Saguna and Nirguna. Bhur, Bhuvasva. The three Vyahrutis, Bhu, Bhuvasva, are said to be the essence of the Vedas. Pramanam Prananidya Pranavipan. Pramanam Prananidya. One who is self-certifying. He is pure consciousness, the home of dissolving ground of pranas. Who strengthens the pranas as food. Who keeps alive human beings with vayus known as prana, apana, prana jivana. Tattvam means Brahman, just as words like Amrita, Satya, Paramartha. Tattva vid, one who knows, one who, Ekatma, one who is the soul. Janma Mrityu Jaradi, one who subsists without being subject to the 6 kinds of transformation. Born, existing, temporarily growing, transforming, decaying. Anadi, one who has no beginning because he is the ultimate cause. He who is the bestower of all that auspicious, one who has many brilliant ways of manifestation, one who has very attractive armlets, one who gives birth to living beings, Jananam, one who is the root cause of the origin of Jiva that come to have embodiment. Anadiva Bhuvalakshmi, Suviro Ruchirankadaha, Janano Janajanmadi, Bhimo Bhima Parakramaha, Anantarupi, one who has innumerable forms as he dwells. Tarano dushkritaha punyo duswapnavana viraha rakshana santo jivana paryuvastu. One who takes beings over the other shore of the ocean of samsara. Acha. Acha. Dushkrito, one who effaces the evil effects of evil action, one who destroys those who perform evil, one who bestows holiness on those who remember and adore him. Duswapranashana, when adorned and meditated upon, he saves from dreams, foreboding danger. Viraha, one who frees jivas from bondage and thus saves them from the various paths by bestowing liberation. Rakshanaha, one who assuming the Sattva-guna protects the three worlds. Shantaha, those who adopt the virtuous path are called good men. Jivanaha, one who supports the lives of all beings as prana. Paryavastita, one who remains pervading everywhere in this universe. Like that, Akruraha, one who is without cruelty. Peshala Dakshaha, one who is full grown, strong, does everything quickly, such a person is Daksha. Perfection. Dakshina, the word, his word means the same as the above. Not good. So the message is, at least we pick up out of this 1008, 2 or 3 or 4, and then concentrate. That is enough. So Mataji introduced this so that at least we will develop some taste. Some word we will get the meaning. So that will be there in our mind. That is enough. Not that every word we should understand. It is not possible also. So the purpose is it should not become purely superficial. That is what is meant. And in Guru Stuti, you cannot take up anything because Guruvina Nene Manave. Guruvina Nene Manave. Nijananda Guruvina Nene Manave. Janana Janma Marana Tapatraya Uma, please come here. Janma Marana, early. Janma Marana. Arnava Madari Sida Nijananda Guruvina Nene Manave. Nagovindu Nerida Vastava Ravindu Kana Sida Nijananda. Sadguru Nijananda has enabled me to realize in my own heart the reality above the three upadhis, Nada Bindu Kala. Do we understand? Beautifully we will sing Guru Sthiti. One day we should try to go now. Arivu, Arivu. Nijananda Guruvina Manave. Jananda Guruvina Manave. Sadguru Nijananda has erased all traces of delusion. And how many years you have been telling? Has it removed one delusion? Sadguru Nijananda has erased all traces of delusion, has enabled Raghava to realize the Supreme in Samadhi. Remember Guru Nijananda, oh mind, remember Guru Nijananda. So the idea is, the Guru Sthiti when they introduced, at least one day we should ask, what is this? Ramadasa Sadguru Mai, Adela Manda, Pinna. Adela Manda. ಇದು ಬರೀ ಕಾಂಬೋಜಿ ಸದ್ಭಾವದಿಂದ ಅಭೇದ ಭಕ್ತಿ ಅಭೇದ ಭಕ್ತಿ ಇಂದು ಶ್ಲೋಕ ನಿತ್ಯಂ ಪದಂತಿ ಮಾನವರಿಗೆ ಸಾಯುಜ್ಯ ಮುಕ್ತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ. Wait. What does it mean? Those who read these 8 slokas daily with right attitude, what is that? And one-pointed devotion would attain Sayujya, union with the Lord. They would have the 3 noble virtues: control over outer senses, Dhamma; control over the inner senses, Shama; and peace, Shanti. ಸದ್ಭಾವದಿಂದ ಇದೊಂದು ಸಾಕಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ. ಮತ್ತೇನು ಬೇಡ. ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಶ್ಲೋಕ ಇಫ್ ಯು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, the purpose of introducing, it will be saved. We religiously chant. Today, where are you going? Guru Sthiti. Those who read Sadbhavadinda, Sadbhavadinda, Abheda Bhakti, Inda, Abheda Bhakti, Ivu Endu Shloka, Nityam Padandi. ಆ ಮಾನವರಿಗೆ ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಆ ಮಾನವರಿಗೆ ಸಾಯುಜ್ಯ ಮುಕ್ತಿ ಶಮದಂ ಶಾಂತಿ ಈ 3 ಪ್ರಾಪ್ತಿ. ಒಂದು ವೈರಾಗ್ಯ ಬರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ವೈರಾಗ್ಯವೂ ಬರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸತ್ಸಂಗದಿಂದ ಅನುತಾಪ ಪ್ರಾಪ್ತಿ, ಅನುತಾಪದಿಂದ ವೈರಾಗ್ಯ ಪ್ರಾಪ್ತಿ, ವೈರಾಗ್ಯದಿಂದ ಸುಜ್ಞಾನ ಪ್ರಾಪ್ತಿ, ಸುಜ್ಞಾನದಿಂದ ಸಾಯುಜ್ಯ ಮುಕ್ತಿ. Satsang results in intense repentance of one's own wrongdoings, whereby one develops dispassion. Dispassion results in the attainment of the divine knowledge, which leads to Sayujya Mukti. See, at least, I think you can slowly introduce this in the Guru, at least one sloka's meaning, so that it doesn't become one sloka. Guruvin, otherwise, it will be like this, will be going on. So we will now, all of you might be knowing that because of the mandatory, the statutory problems, Ashram could not send vision from May onwards. We have applied and all those things, they are on the pipeline, but we don't know when it comes. Otherwise, Ashram will have to spend about 40,000 to 50,000 rupees a month for postage. Previously, it was 25 paise, very nominal. So this concession, they set some technical grounds. So with the result that we thought, I think we paid about 30,000 to 40,000 rupees and sent. Then we decided not to send And we are now encouraging people to opt for e-version. When e-version is there, the advantage is you don't have to bother about the old copies also. And it will be there in your system. Anytime you want, you can. As soon as you get on every first of English month, it will be definitely sent. So that those who have got the system, even mobile, email facility, in the mobile also, whenever time permits, you can just go through it. So that you don't have to bother, we don't have to bother about posting. And posting is an elaborate process. We have to sort out pin code wise, 5 or 6 together bundle, then take it in the first pilgrimage, we have to go to Kasaragod, then we give them, and then come back. And one day, if we suppose on every first we are unable to do it because of, again we have to apply to them, get another date, and on that particular date we have to give them. These so many such we have been undergoing. Then still we thought, if it's going to be beneficial to others. But when we stopped posting, if people are asking, we will again try to do it. Majority of them did not respond at all. We have not received. Nobody says, very few people said we have not received. To them we are sending. Otherwise, those who don't have system, or those who are elderly people who cannot handle this, and when they inform us, we send them. We print about 100 copies or something like that and send them. So hereafter, we would request everybody to cooperate with us to switch over to e-version. E-version means, it is very easy. For everybody it is easy. Not only for ashram, but also for you. Because you don't have to worry about as to what will you do. Many people ask, what are we to do with the old copies? They don't want to throw it because it has Papa's photo. People will have sentiments. So what do we do ultimately? Under the paper, ultimately, so it will be better if we all switch over, okay? So from last month also, it has been started. So this month also you will get it on first, those who are getting it. So now we will because we are not sending the hard copy, we thought we would read out. At least those who are here, they will know something about what is written in the vision. August 23, Papa's poem, I love all. My heart overflows with love incessantly. I lay it at the altar of humanity. Humanity is my God, as also all creation. I reject nothing, I love all is my God. The life that animates all being is my life. All movements in nature are my dynamics, yet I am still changeless, the underlying truth. God, my beloved, is all that I have said before. So when I glorify Him, I glorify my own self. Verily, myself, He and world are one. From the editor, let your vision expand. Papa says, let your vision expand and envelop the universe and beyond. Let your heart embrace all beings in the folds of infinite love. Let your body work imbued with the omnipotent power of the divine. Let every atom of your frame thrill with the spiritual ecstasy and produce universal harmony. The indwelling and all-pervading Lord, out of His abundant love, facilitates various opportunities in a sadhaka's life to have a glimpse into His infinite manifestation all around, and sometimes even in the far-flung corners of the world. Thus, Srimati Deepa, the daughter of Sri Mohan Gurnani, an ardent devotee of the ashram from Mumbai, and her husband Sri Jiten were prompted by him to initiate a 6-long Satsang tour for Muktananda to the US and UK. Spanning over 48 days, from the 24th of May to the 11th of July 2023, this program included interaction with the devotees from different places, and various aspects of spirituality based on Papa's teachings were dwelt upon in over 40 satsang sessions. These programs were organized by Srimati Deepa and Jiten Jakhani in New York, Srimati Radha Reddy and Malla Reddy in London, Amitaraj and Sandhya in Connecticut, Neelakandan and Lata in Dallas, Radhakrishnan and Radhakrishnan Raghuram and Uma in California, Lawrence and Catherine Collar in Seattle, Ashokdar and Veenadar in Pittsburgh. The meticulous care, love and affection showered by the devotees everywhere, along with thorough planning for the entire tour, were testament of their unflinching faith in the teachings of beloved Papa. As beloved Papa said, love begets love, kindness begets kindness. This is a law which knows no exception. If we love them, their love automatically flows to us. When our love goes to them and their love comes to us, the two streams mingle together and there is an ocean of love and joy. It is a spontaneous merging of souls. This month's issue of the Vision carries a brief account of the satsang programs held during the tour and the words of masters on universality of existence. Rest of the article we will read, again coming back to the tour. As mentioned in the editorial, by the abundant grace of beloved Papa, satsang sessions held in London and various places in the US were interactive and deeply elevating. Some of the points shared in several sessions were ideal of the ashram, as stated by beloved Papa, that is expansion from the individual, identifying the source, practice, reliance on God, remaining content. Nam Seva Dhyan, remembering Him, dedicating everything to Him, trying to feel His presence first within and then without. Guru the awakener, role of the spiritual preceptor. Source of all sources, primal cause, the common denominator. Material progress and spiritual advancement to go hand in hand. Spirit expressed through matter and matter activated by spirit. Spirituality in daily life, touch of love, perfection, dedication, gratitude. Brief life sketches of beloved Papa, Papa-Mataji, Puja Swamiji. They stand for bliss, absence of otherness, and humility. Overview of Srimad Bhagavad Gita leads from stress to serenity. No divide between mundane and spiritual. Spirit activates both the mundane and the spiritual. Blend of bhakti, jnana, and karma. Actions dominated by devotion and right knowledge. Concept of one world family, interconnectedness, interdependence. Reducing the dominance of me and mine, becoming subservient to the higher power. Understanding the purpose of suffering in life brings out the capacity to endure. In quest of God, the manual of life. Satsang sessions were held in the homes of Srimati Radha Reddy and Malla Reddy in London. Yes, Yoganathan, Srimati Jaya, Sudhir Reddy, Christopher, Serene Pegler, Anil, Rajeshwari Mehta, and a 2-day residential retreat was organized by Sri Christopher and Serene in Birmingham at the residence of the devotee of Sri Anandamayama. New York. Here 2 sessions were organized in the Ganesh temple by Deepa and Jiten. One session was at Lalita, Dr. Lalita and Ravi Chandran's and special satsang was organized on the occasion of Guru Purnima via Google Meet from the residence of Deepa. Connecticut. The satsang session was held at Amitraj and Srimati Sandhya's residence. Dallas. Neelakandan Srivasava and Ladda organized the satsang session. Sri Tara Mission, Chinmaya Mission at Dallas, Sri Guruvayurappan Temple. Satsang sessions were also held at the residence of Swati Aladi, Uday, Suman Adalangadi, Srimati Srinivasan and Srinivasan Devarajan, organized a session at Veera Satyanarayana Temple. 2 satsang sessions were held at the residence of, in her place. People who do not know Srimati, she is here. 2 satsang sessions were held at the residence of Radhakrishnan and one at the residence of Dhiren, our Shraddha's brother. Seattle. Satsang sessions were held at the residence of Sumi and Balakrishnan, Ashraya, Ganesh, Larry and Kate. One satsang was also arranged at Ananda Institute of Living Yoga, 3-day residential retreat was organized, Cedar Springs Lodge, so and so. Pittsburgh, Ashokdar and Veenadar organized a satsang session at Hindu Jain temple. Thus, as willed by Viral Papa, the 48-day yatra to the west came to a close. Now, lead article by Papa. We are parts of a stupendous whole. Very inspiring article. Essentially, humanity is one. Under the influence of science, ignorance, we create a sense of diversity and see distinctions and differences among the members of the human race. We possess a natural affinity to each other. Every one of us possesses the same power of thought, feeling, and action. We are blessed with speech, which is a splendid means by which we can communicate with each other. So we should think, feel, and act in a spirit of love and unity. The life principle that activates our being is the same. We all breathe the same air, walk on the same earth, and are equally entitled to the enjoyment of the amenities which nature provides. The earth yields its rich gift to all alike. The differences between man and man on the material plane are in truth unnatural and improper. For the component parts and composition of human bodies and qualities inherent in them are not diverse and conflicting. If we look with the pure vision that belongs to an enlightened mind, we do not see any clear-cut line of demarcation that isolates man from man, one set of people from another, one nation from another. We are indeed parts of a stupendous whole. We are units that form the world community or family, so we can live and act as members of a world brotherhood or federation. True religion therefore signifies the linking of the individual soul with the cosmic soul. The soul does not belong to any caste, creed, race, nationality. It is natural. Its nature is universal. Inherently, it is pure, enlightened, free, and blissful. There is a beautiful sloga in Maha Upanishad, which we were told now adorns in the parliament, new parliament. Ayam nija parovedi gananam laguchedasam udara charidanam tu vasudaiva kutumbakam. As Viral Papa's spiritual children, at least we must learn this. Universality, universality, universality. Every time he says, vasudaiva kutumbakam. Those who discriminate, this one is a friend, that one is a stranger, are people with petty mind. People with evolved consciousness embrace the entire world as their own family. Words of beloved Papa, devotee. You see and feel God everywhere. I think we all understand this, but there is a difficulty of words not conveying the actual feeling of this kind when you interpret Eastern points of view. If you see him everywhere, you see him now here. Is that right? Papa, seeing God everywhere means seeing God nowhere. At one time, several years ago, Ramdas met in, were we able to understand that word? Seeing God everywhere means seeing God nowhere. I think today we can have that. What does it mean? Seeing God everywhere means seeing God nowhere.
Swamiji,
Ah,
Swamiji,
ah.
seeing God now here,
അല്ല അതല്ല അത് വേറെ സീയിങ് ഗാഡ് നോവേർ മീൻസ് seeing God everywhere means seeing God nowhere. Huh?
The small house is vanished.
And then,
She's telling everything is one, there is nothing separate. Charvama is telling.
Then. Yes?
Intrinsic meaning of the opposites. Nowhere and everywhere.
Think
Yes. Everywhere he is.
seeing God everywhere means seeing God nowhere.
Look without seeing.
Ah. So what does it? At least let us try to understand intellectually. It might help us in our sadhana. The moment you put the label God, you are there, no? So when it is past duality, nobody is there to tell that this is God. So seeing God everywhere means we are not localizing particular, we are putting this is God. Only when the labeling takes place, only when I am there. So the labeling will not take place when I am not there. When I become totally when I identify myself with that indwelling reality, and then later on all pervading reality,
He's a great voice.
then I am not there. So Papa's every word we have to do lot of manana.
Yes, yes.
Outwardly it looks like, we read, we just go. So he wants us to reach that stage. Whenever you see anything, what comes before you is the label. Immediately that label comes. Even before, when you see a mountain, the mountain, it is a word, It is a label. Even before that label, something was there, which we now label it as mountain. So what is that? This is the highest philosophy. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, this has been beautifully mentioned. So the labeling is the one which makes me aware of me and the others. The moment I become aware of me, the other is there. So this is a stage where ultimately as a spiritual aspirant, I should reach that stage where the labeling entity is not there, and therefore the labeled object also will not be there.
Swamiji, can you give the analogy of air? You cannot take out air sometimes taking there. Is it like that?
Ah. Ah. But this is something, even if we bring it, we will not be going nearer this statement. Because this air also is a label, AIR. Prior to that label, this air was there, the one which we name it. What is that? So only when the labeling comes, I am there. I am there to label it as AIR. When the me and mine is not there, it's only an existence. Existence or awareness.
Swamiji, when small I takes the place of big I, there is no God.
No?
When small eye takes place, the bigger eye, there is no.
Pa. Okay. So that is why Papa said, seeing God everywhere means seeing God nowhere. Kindly think about it. Don't stop. So when you go out, you start look at a tree or a mountain, and then remove the label. What happens? The looking is going on. Then it cannot be explained further. Upanishad. It is difficult. It is difficult. But we should not live like that. Otherwise, why should Papa use this word? Huh?
Yes.
All my lifetime I've been called by you.
Another?
Everybody knew that I was related to everybody. Suddenly my guru tells me that I'm not me. It is identity crisis. I don't understand.
I can't understand. It is identity crisis. All these years we had all this, and now suddenly my guru tells me.
Identity. Think about it. Papa has given. So, he will not just give for the sake of giving. So, he wants every one of us to do some manana. We will try. We will try to reach near that. We don't know whether it is possible or not. We keep on trying it. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, sage Yajnavalkya explained to Janaka about the self as the light of all lights. So here he says, the self is the pure awareness that shines as the light within the heart, surrounded by the senses. Surrounded by the senses. The man who, in union with the self, sees without seeing, smells without smelling, tastes without tasting, speaks without speaking, hears without hearing, touches without touching, thinks without thinking, knows without knowing, for there is nothing separate from him. This state of not having another is the state of unity, one without a second, and that is the world of Brahman. That is the supreme goal of life, the supreme treasure, the supreme joy. So this is a statement which cannot be easily digested. But you see this, you go step out of your place, you see a tree, you look at it intently, remove the label. And try. What happens? This will give some idea about the all-pervading reality. So the looker and the looked, both are not there. It is the label that as soon as the labeling is done, it is very subjective, but still we will share, that's all. It requires a lot of
Slowly you read once again.
Swamiji also told that this will be the end result of the state after realization.
after.
We cannot practice it this way.
Allah, see, we don't have to. Every day we are walking, We,
That you said about see, hear the don't listen. Speak but don't
See without
that's all right. It's all because of labeling. Hearing is also a labeling. Sound, when you say sound, S-O-U-N-D, before that S-O-U-N-D, before that English language was given, what was that? Everything is labeling through the language. This is something one has to try, You cannot give an answer. The moment you see something, this is how the attraction. That is why we are unable to proceed. Look without seeing means even if the monkey is there, we are not seeing it.
labeling monkey.
Labeling. Labeling. Please hear this. It might help you. Please hear this. The perceiving mind puts the label according to his or her material knowledge. Somebody has told that we have to name it as monkey, Somebody, we were told when we were children, we were shown the photo. That is how the labeling takes place. So at the same time, we do not realize that the object existed even prior to the labeling. That means the existence of the object is not dependent upon the labeling. So what are we seeing? From our present level, it is difficult to get an answer because we are functioning within the ambit of thoughts. However, through intense reflection, it might become possible to realize that the labeling of objects unintentionally makes us unaware of the indwelling reality. When Papa said, when God is everywhere, it means God is nowhere. Just think about it. Through intense reflection, it might become possible to realize that the labeling of objects unintentionally makes us unaware of the indwelling reality, and consequently the sense of otherness emerges. The handicap here is that perceiving and labeling takes place simultaneously. The moment you see, we don't have any time. Perceive. That's right. That's all. So the handicap here is that the perceiving and labeling takes place simultaneously. Though it is difficult to stop the above phenomenon while engaged in usual activities of life, it might become possible by periodical efforts to free the mind from thoughts leading to stillness. So that is this is the essence. That is why Papa said to love all is to love none. Because the individual is not there then. Huh?
That is why Satsang and Swamiji said, consciousness is coming.
Huh?
Consciousness is talking to me.
Amma, again, repeat it, Padmaji.
Satsang and Swamiji used to say, consciousness is coming, consciousness is talking.
Sachidananda Swamiji used to say, consciousness is coming, consciousness is looking at consciousness. She is bringing that.
So that is why Eckhart Tolle, you might be remembering, a great philosopher. He said, what happens at that time? Consciousness is looking at its creation. Consciousness is looking at its creation. I am not there, object is not there. This is the state Papa reached and then he gives to us. No? He says, when the mind ceases to be, Papa's words, then you realize that you are the Atman. Look without seeing, hear without listening, eat without tasting. That is the thing you have to attain. That means the person is not there. So labeling, so we start from where? So at least, once in a way we just go out, we look at something, we look at, okay, you are in city life, probably you may not get a tree there or a mountain there. So you just look at the sky. Immediately a sky is a labeling. Think. But even before that labeling, sky was there. So you are trying to find out what was that. Let that process give you the outcome. Again, if we start discussing, we are again back to the individual. So the labeling, perceiving and labeling takes place simultaneously in us. So when we see the Guru, G-U-R-U, labeling. The name, labeling. That labeling was done, you and I got a name only, we did not announce when we came from the mother's womb, I am Muktananda coming, or the previous name was Gopalan. I am Gopalan coming to this world. Did we announce? After a few days, in order that people can identify, otherwise if there is no name, how will we identify? Like that we have to call, everybody will look at you. So for administrative purpose, smooth administrative purpose, a label was pasted, which is called the christening ceremony or the naming ceremony. But even we know now, even before that name, we were there. Na? Think, even before the label, now a little more. Even before the label, we say Kondai, Koti, child. That is also a label. Before that, it was there. What was that? Don't answer. So let us set on a process. This is how the sense of individuality gets dropped for a fraction of a second. And then we become, nobody is there to identify, nobody is there to localize, nobody is there to tell. Only existence. That is how the clarity comes to us, that when God is identified as Sat Chit Ananda, how are we to understand? Sat stands for existence. That which has been there prior to labeling, which is called existence. Something is there existing, and the one which makes you to know that there is existence, that is called the awareness. And when there is no otherness, what comes out is the bliss Ananda. That is how probably they would have named Almighty Lord of the Universe as Sat Chit Anand. Existence, awareness, bliss. Existence, awareness, bliss. Sat, Chit, Anand. Anyhow, all those things we learned because Papa's one word. What was that word? God is seeing God everywhere means seeing God nowhere. So every one of us can try this, whenever there is any opportunity for us to look at anything intently, we try to remove the labeling and then see what happens, what we experience. What we experience. It will give. Intently you look at a tree or anything, a flower, flower. Prior to that, what was that? It was there even before the naming. At one time, several years ago, Ramdas met an English lady in India. She came to Ramdas and asked him how it was possible for one to love everybody. As Ramdas talked in those days that we must love everybody alike. She wanted Ramdas's advice to put into practice. She practiced it for a year and came to terrible grief. Then Ramdas told her that she did not understand what Ramdas actually meant. He further told her to love everybody means to love nobody. To see God everywhere means to see God nowhere. Only when a particular person or an object is loved, we need to say love. When everybody is loved, what is the need for telling? No? This is in a very advanced stage. It will help us. When you see God everywhere, you see or feel one with the impersonal reality. You have nothing to do with the personal expressions of that reality. That is the labeling. Because all beings and creatures we see before us are the expressions of that reality. If you see only the expressions and not the underlying reality, you will have likes and dislikes. Love and hate, good and evil. But when you transcend them and see Him everywhere as one all-pervading divine spirit, and all these manifestations are only expressions of that spirit, labeling. then you see the one in the many, the unseen in the seen, the unity in diversity. In that vision, all distinctions which you otherwise see on the surface disappear. And it is then that your attitude towards everybody becomes alike, instead of seeing ourselves everywhere in the impersonal. We see everybody as separate from us, and we are fighting with one another. Ignorance is the cause of the sense of separation. Devotee, do you mean to say then, when all differences disappear, what confronts your eyes is something like a transparent, formless jelly? Papa, no. The differences are not hammered into a jelly-like thing. It is like the gold out of which you make different ornaments. You see the same gold in all ornaments in different forms, with the different names. The moment you see it's a nice necklace, you have forgotten the gold. Yeah. Simple. Bangle is very nice. You have forgotten. So we have say a gold, thus. It has got a different form. Think about it. Very, very, very thought-provoking. Very thought-provoking. How to see the common factor in us? Papa has put it in a simple language. So also out of clay you make vessels of different kinds with different shapes. Though the clay is one, vessels are different in name and shape. So also the universal manifestation is nothing but the concrete expression of the divine, who is both impersonal and personal, without form and with form, unseen and seen. We see only the external aspect, and therefore diversity, and not the underlying unity. And that is why there is so much clash and conflict in the world. In unity there is happiness, in diversity there is unhappiness. Our individual sense must be substituted by the cosmic sense. Individuality must disappear into cosmic consciousness. The cosmic consciousness is God. We must meditate on Him and surrender ourselves to Him in order to lose our individuality in His cosmic reality. So one beautiful way is look at, remove the labeling. Ah. Ah.
The law of gravitation existed even much before the rise of Newton. The law of gravitation existed.
The law?
Gravitation existed before the...
Correct. Before we named it, correct. Before we discovered that. Correct.
Time immemorial.
We named it, we put a label, law of gravitation, that's all. So start thinking, it will give us some clues. Do not bring it out in the form of words. That is what Papa wants. So when we see unity, then we see unity in diversity, we see the whole universe as the manifestation of one reality that has no name and form. We will take it up tomorrow, rest of the article, but very, very, very thought-provoking. Very, very thought-provoking. That is why we can say Papa is a Jnani Bhakta. All these things, are very subtle, highly subjective. Reflection and contemplation is must to go nearer to this. Deep penetration is necessary, deep. When he said about the great void, I think it is becoming clearer to everybody that remove the labeling. Whenever the mind keeps on bringing this labeling, one by one we throw. And then what remains? That remains. Think about it. Probably that's a great take-home message for all of us today. Through that article Papa has, because when this book, Inward Journey was, this particular portion came, when the mind ceases to be, then you realize you are the Atman. Look without seeing, hear without listening, eat without tasting. We were not, how to eat without tasting means what? Am I a dead wood? No. The labeling will not be there. Consciousness is
Put up the audio.
eh?
Please put up the audio.
Over now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Now it's already 4:35. So let us all try to chew this, What is that?
Mastication.
No, that
Between the mind and the intellect.
Intellect. Between the mind
Put the
and
idea
intellect.
between the mind and the intellect and
chew it. Keep on chewing them, we know that. Even after extracting the sweetness, we continue to chew, So similarly, initially whatever we understand, we leave it, but continue chewing. That is what is called reflection. So let the mind keep on doing it and pray to him. You are there, you make me to do this, help me to find you. You have given me the sense of me and mine. You have placed the object before it. You have somehow made me to put the label, and then the otherness comes and I continue the life like this. But one fine morning you come and say that remove that label. How am I to remove the label, and what remains I should be able to experience? Think about it. Any item you touch, then you find, something is there. That is how we try to at least go near to that great reality. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody. PhD class. Papa's PhD class. Hari Om, Hari Om. Pranam. Hari Om.